Greetings, I, TheWarOwl, greets you, and welcome to another Matchmaking Academy, where you are the star for all the wrong reasons. But don't worry, we are going to figure out what those reasons are and help you improve at Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Our hero today is Lebont595. He's a Master Guardian Elite player, Dut's here, and he had some questions about how to take Bombsite B. Now, remember to be respectful to these players and make sure not to make any disparaging comments in the YouTube comments that you all... Oh, no! Well, that could have gone better. Here's another example of a failed Bombsite B take. Spoilers! They don't do it. Now, let's talk about what's happening here briefly. We see T's working a little bit on mid control. CTs have a player inside of A main pushing far forward. By this point, CTs know they're not setting up for an A take, and they actually rotate. They can rotate safely if they want to. So T's decide, let's take Bombsite B. They haven't rotated. It's still a good setup for a take. Now, they have 3 people here on this pistol round ready to burst in. It may have been a better idea to leave 1 player as the lurk and then move in here with 4 players. Then it would have been a 4 versus 2. 1 player keeping tabs on the enemy positions. May have been just a little bit better, but, I mean, you have 1 player watching mid and holding that player down. 3 versus 2. Still definitely a doable Bombsite take. Now, notice here on our money and our items and stuff, we have no smokes, no flashes, or anything available for either team, which is sometimes common on a pistol round. I've said before in previous matchmaking academies that sometimes it makes sense for one of the players to purchase up smoke, flash, and do something with that. And Bombsite B here on cash, we'll talk about it as I hop in game a little bit, but you kind of have to take it in layers. There's a lot of different spots for CTs to be, a lot of different ways to get into it. And we see now terrorists do have checkers, they do have main. The 1 player there at the CT, they know has rotated back. They also have position on him, and they know there's probably 1 more guy hiding in the site somewhere. So still set up for a good take. But what went wrong? Well, here's your problem, sonny. We see that Lebont tries to run straight into the site. He is exposed from Matsko. He also could get killed by this player, God, I love alcohol, who's inside of the site. And I just think that was really poor positioning for this player to run straight into the site like this. And for anybody who's played this position up here, we'll jump forward a little bit. You know how many kills you've gotten from playing upper B for players who just run straight into the site. So that is kind of a big mistake, and we see that both of those players are shooting at Lebont as he goes down, and we see that Matsko actually gets the assist on it, and God, I Love Alcohol gets the kill, who's the player hiding inside of the site. That's a common spot. Now let's hop in game and talk a little bit about Bombsite B. If you also watch my pro matchcast, you'll see a recent game between Epsilon and Dignitas. Watch GMX. Look at the CT positioning right now. Cajun B up there at top. And then we have Dupree down here inside of the site. Exact same positioning that you had to deal with there. So, and we'll notice he actually makes the same mistake. We'll see him run straight up this ramp here in a few seconds. And then get taken down by the player from behind him. Same mistake. So let's talk a little bit more in-game about how to deal with that kind of a setup, as well as like just the basics of where CTs are going to be inside of Bombsite B. I'm a terrorist, and I want to take Bombsite B. Let's do this thing. Well, there's more you need to know before you just run into the site like this and get killed. So first things first, let's talk about where CTs can be. Now, B site on cache is a difficult site to take, in my opinion, just because of the plethora of places that CTs could be sitting. Now, you could have a player behind this box. There's all these little corners that players could be sitting in back here. This is a common spot you may want to throw a Molotov in, because players will sit here just in case you're trying to go through the vents. They could also boost the player into the vents, or of course at middle early game. Throw this smoke down at middle. Push forward like this into a really strong forward position right here, and then get into vents as a CT. So you also have to worry about this if you aren't working on taking mid control. You could also have a player just playing checkers normally, which is going to be a spot pretty much like this, and this is one of those spots that they got killed from. Another spot is for that player to fall back if he gets in trouble and hide back here. Another spot in the corner you have to watch out for. When watching the door, this is a spot I've seen a player play before, but it's not a smart one. This is a little bit better forward here like this, because you can kill players as they try to cross in a forward position and then run back into the site and hide when you need to. And another spot that you'll see players play is right here, and this is where one of the spots you saw the player play. It's a sneaky beaky spot. It feels probably the most comfortable for a CT. You sit here and just wait, and there's only one place that the Ts can come from. Then, of course, you have players just playing in the site, in the boxes like normal, moving around like this, playing over here, playing down here at Generator. This is a really nice spot. And in fact, Generator, I think, is key for taking the site, because if you get a terrorist over here into Generator, look at this. They can sweep every single spot here as they move in. And this is also a really strong spot for retakes by the CTs who are coming in here to retake it. They'll come in from this spot. Now, this is a spot I think you don't really have to worry about, because for the most part, you're going to be able to smoke it off. Another place player could stand is right here. And of course, we have to worry about upper as well. I don't think people are going to push out rafters like this. This is kind of a stupid spot. You kind of have to look at it just to make sure, though. But for the most part, you'll have an op player playing up here inside of rafters. When the T's take checkers and they take this whole position, he's probably going to fall back and just watch and wait for you to try to go into the site and set up a crossfire with the player who's inside of the site, who could be playing from here, which is exactly what happened and is what we saw being set up inside of that pro match that worked by the CTs. So now the question becomes, how do we actually deal with that? Generally, there's going to be two counter-terrorists who are going to be trying to hold off B sites. So the first step would be identifying where they are so that you can plan your retake sort of on the fly and deal with those players. Now, they're going to be trying to set up a crossfire at some point, and taking B is going to be sort of a layered approach. B is a really difficult spot to take because of all of the different spots that the CTs can take. So the first layer is going to be like this area right here. So we got the vantage points there and checkers there behind the box up front in the door. A good flash you can throw to move forward and take this sort of forward position. Just stand anywhere in this area, it doesn't have to be exact, and sort of line up with the end of the doorway there and do a running throw against the lights up there. And that flash will bounce over sort of from the top and lands right here. And it should be able to flash any players here who are watching this sort of a position. Notice they won't really see that coming because it comes from the top like that and it's kind of a pop flash. It's a nice one, so you can have a player throw that flash and another one move in like this and take this position. Sometimes the CTs are going to throw a smoke down right here. We'll show you what that looks like. This smoke actually may even help you a little bit because it allows you to move through here and take position over here at checkers. You do have to watch out for a player playing right here, and I believe that was the player who mowed down 3 of their teammates as they tried to move forward here. So dealing with him, maybe even throwing a Molotov like this to bounce off the door, land in that common spot on the right like that, maybe even a good idea, and trying to focus on this guy here at the doorway. I mean, if you think a guy's playing there, you can nade stack it, of course. So once you take this first layer, then you got to worry about the next layer. And the next layer is going to be taking checkers. So once you have checkers and then this area, you're set up to take the bomb site. So how can you do that? You really only want to worry about the one guy or the 2 guys who are playing inside of the site and block off these entrances so it's difficult for rotators to attack while you're engaging here in this bomb site take. So you want to smoke off here and you want to smoke off here. Let's talk about smokes you can throw for that. You want to smoke those off. I didn't see any smokes going down in the gameplay that was sent in. Now this is a real easy smoke that you can throw. You line up with the sort of line here on this box. It doesn't have to be exact like here, and just do a running throw up at the top like that. And if you notice, it'll bounce right over into the middle of this passageway and smoke it off perfectly, so you don't have to worry about lower anymore. And you can throw that in relative safety right here. The only thing you got to worry about is like a player inside of checkers, but we're assuming you've already taken this first layer. So you've already smoked off this area, you want to smoke off upper now. There is a smoke you can throw here, but it's a little bit more precise than that last one, which you can get pretty consistently. Here's my suggestion for it. You can come up here to the corner of this thing right here, stand somewhere around here, all right? Now line up the doorway so it lines up with the wall right here, so pretty much like this spot. Then line up with the ends of the doorway, look up, 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 up until you're in the middle of the white part of the aluminum right here. And then do a running throw and throw it right there when your crosshair just passes into the room. So like this. And it'll go boop, 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 land perfectly right up there. It's a really nice smoke to smoke off upper. So at this point, you've smoked those 2 parts out. You've moved into checkers. You've taken pretty much checkers control up to this point. You can nade stack back there, throw a Molotov down there just in case there's a guy hiding in that corner. And now you're ready to finally do the bomb site take and worry about the player in the site somewhere. So you want to identify where he is. A lot of times you can move forward here with a player like this to try to pick him. There's a common spot. You can see a headshot if he's playing generator. Move in and check the sites like that. You can also have a teammate flash in for you. And the best place to flash is going to be this position right here. There's a window right there. You just throw the flash right into the window, and it lands right in the middle of the site. Look at that. That's going to hit anybody who's standing anywhere around here. Really nice place to throw flashes through into the site. And once that flash goes down, you can actually move forward, work on taking this position, even move over here like this. What we saw from that player is he kind of ran straight up this ramp like this, and then he's right here. You're super exposed from like every single possible spot standing in this position. I would definitely advise against that. If you really want to move in, a lot of times you can hug the wall here, so a player upper can't push through and do anything with you. And just watch the site like this, look around like this, move by this. We're assuming this is smoked right now. Get by and then get to generator like that. And also, you can hug the wall over here as well as you move in like this, instead of just running straight out like that. Checking your corners like this. Finally, come into the site like up here, and then pre-shoot that spot definitely, because this is really common. And I assume that if the player's actually playing inside of the boxes here, he's got to have some real rock hard patience to sit here and wait. He doesn't want to engage as you push in, because look, a guy generator, that's dangerous at the same time as someone's coming up the ramp. So he's probably going to let his presence be known by peeking like this and trying to engage you. And because of that, you'll kind of know where that player is. So those are kind of the basics, very basics of how to take this site. We showed a few smokes, a few flashes you could throw, a number of different places where the CTs could be. I hope you learned something. Obviously, when you ask the question, how do I take Bombsite B? That's a huge question. There's so many answers to it. There's a ton of different strategies, infinite strategies that you can pull off and come up with. I'm just trying to arm you with a little bit of basics, a little bit of like a common strat, that some smokes and stuff that you could throw while you're inside of a pug to give yourself a better chance at victory. Thank you, LeBond, for sending in the demo, for putting yourself out there so we could improve at Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Thank you to the viewers for watching this show. Thank you to everybody. God bless us, everyone. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, let's get an OwlVision. Now I'll show you folks how a real man take Bombsite. Yeehaw! 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 Yeehaw!